the quiet routine. Ethan lived alone on the 7th floor of an old apartment building. The building was small, quiet, and forgotten by most people. Just like him, every day followed the same routine. He woke up early, went to work, came back tired, and stood on his balcony in the evening. The balcony was narrow, with rusted railings and cracked tiles. From there, he could see the city lights and hear distant traffic. And every evening, at exactly the same time, the cat came. It appeared without sound. A small gray cat with short fur and strange golden eyes. It never meowed, never begged, never rubbed against his legs like other cats did. It only sat near the corner of the balcony and waited. Ethan noticed it for the first time 3 months ago. At first, he thought it was just another stray. The city had many, but this one was different. Its eyes did not look empty or afraid. They looked aware. Still, Ethan felt sorry for it, so he brought food. At first, the cat did not touch it. It only watched him with those unblinking eyes. The next day, the bowl was empty. From that day on, feeding the cat became part of Ethan's life. He never told anyone about it. The cat never followed him inside, never tried to climb into his apartment. It only came to eat and watch him. Sometimes Ethan spoke to it, not because he expected an answer, but because the silence felt heavy. "You're lucky," he once said, placing the bowl down. "At least you're free." The cat tilted its head, as if listening carefully. Ethan laughed and went back inside. Tonight felt different. The air was warmer than usual, too warm for the season. Ethan stepped onto the balcony with the food bowl in his hand. The cat was already there, sitting closer than usual. Its fur looked darker under the balcony light, almost like scales, but Ethan blinked and shook his head. "Tired eyes," he muttered. As he placed the bowl down, something strange happened. The cat lowered its head, not to eat, but in a slow, careful movement. It bowed. Ethan froze. Cats didn't do that. His heart skipped a beat. "Okay there, buddy," he asked, trying to laugh. The cat raised its head and looked straight at him. For a moment, Ethan felt like something was pressing against his chest, like the air itself had grown heavier. Then the moment passed. The cat began to eat. Ethan exhaled and rubbed his arms. "Yeah, I need sleep," he said, but he didn't go back inside. He stayed on the balcony, watching. The cat ate slowly, too neatly. No mess, no rush. When it finished, it did something new. It looked up at the sky. The clouds above the city shifted. For just a second, the moonlight turned red. Ethan blinked. The light returned to normal. He laughed nervously. "Okay, that's new." The cat turned back to him. Their eyes met, and for the first time, Ethan felt fear. Not sharp fear, but deep, quiet fear, like standing in front of something ancient. Something old. Something that should not be small, or weak, or hungry. The cat stepped closer. Ethan didn't move. It stopped just before his feet. He noticed something now. Its shadow on the wall behind it did not match its body. The shadow was wider, larger. It almost looked like wings. Ethan's breath caught. "Hey," he whispered. "That's not funny." The cat blinked slowly. The shadow returned to normal. Ethan stepped back. His heart was pounding. "This city messes with your head," he said to himself. He picked up the empty bowl and went inside, locking the balcony door behind him. That night, he dreamed of fire. Not wildfire, controlled fire, golden fire. He dreamed of a massive shape flying through the clouds, and of eyes watching him. Far above the city, beyond human sight, something stirred, something that had been searching, something that had felt a familiar presence for the first time in years. A presence it should never have lost. A presence now hidden, on a small balcony, beside a human who had no idea what he was protecting. As Ethan slept, the cat curled up on the cold balcony floor. It looked small, fragile, but its eyes glowed softly in the dark. And deep within it, a silent call echoed across the sky, a call only one being could hear. The dragon queen opened her eyes, and the world unknowingly took its first step toward change. The cat that watched the sky. Ethan woke up before sunrise. His heart was still racing. The dream felt too real. Fire, wings, a massive shadow moving through clouds. He sat up in bed and rubbed his face. "Just a dream," he whispered, but the air in the room felt warm. Not comfortable warm, heavy warm, like before a storm. Ethan stood and walked toward the balcony. The glass door was fogged from the inside. That was strange. He wiped it with his sleeve and looked outside. The cat was there, curled tightly near the railing, not sleeping, watching the sky. Its golden eyes reflected the early light, glowing brighter than before. Ethan opened the door slowly. "Morning," he said. The cat did not move. Usually, it reacted when he spoke. A head tilt, a blink. Today, nothing. Ethan stepped closer. That's when he saw the marks. The metal railing was bent inward, as if something strong had grabbed it. The concrete floor beneath the cat was cracked. Thin lines spread outward like a web. Ethan swallowed. This wasn't here yesterday. The cat finally looked at him. Its eyes held no fear, only worry. Deep, heavy worry. Ethan felt it in his chest. "You're acting weird," he said softly. "Did someone hurt you?" The cat stood. As it moved, its body seemed to stretch, then shrink again. For half a second, Ethan saw something else. Not fur. Scales. He stepped back quickly. "Nope," he said. "I need coffee. A lot of coffee." He went inside and closed the door. From the kitchen, he looked back. The cat had not moved. It sat tall now, proud, almost guarding the balcony. Later that day, the city felt wrong. People whispered on the streets. Cars moved faster. Sirens echoed more than usual. Screens in shops showed breaking news. Unexplained heat spikes across the city. Military aircraft seen over urban areas. Ethan paused in front of a TV. The image showed clouds swirling over the city. Red flashes deep inside them. "It must be a weather thing," the reporter said. But her voice shook. Ethan's phone buzzed. A city alert. Stay indoors. Avoid balconies and rooftops. Ethan's stomach dropped. He ran. When he reached his apartment, the building hallway was empty. Too quiet. He unlocked his door and rushed to the balcony. The cat was still there, but now it was pacing, back and forth. Its tail flicked sharply. The air shimmered around it. Heat waves twisted the light. "Hey," Ethan said, breathless. "What's going on?" The cat stopped. Slowly, it turned toward him. And then something happened that broke every rule Ethan knew. A voice spoke. Not out loud. Inside his head. Clear. Calm. Young. "They are close." Ethan grabbed the door frame. What was that?" he whispered. The cat stepped closer. The voice came again. "You must not let them take me." Ethan shook his head. "I'm losing it," he said. "I'm officially losing it." The balcony trembled. Not from the building. From above. A deep hum filled the air. Ethan looked up. The clouds were moving. Not drifting. Moving with purpose. Dark shapes passed through them. Machines. Black aircraft. No markings. No sound from engines. Only a low vibration that made his bones ache. Lights scanned the rooftops. One beam swept across Ethan's building. The cat hissed. But it was not a normal hiss. It was layered, like many voices inside one. Ethan felt his fear turn into anger. "They're after you," he said slowly. The cat's eyes glowed brighter. "They took my kind before." The beam stopped, locked onto the balcony. A sharp voice echoed from above. "Target confirmed." Ethan moved without thinking. He stepped in front of the cat. His hands were shaking. "You've got the wrong place," he shouted upward. "There's nothing here." The aircraft lowered. Panels opened. Weapons charged. The heat was unbearable now. The cat pressed against Ethan's leg. Small, trusting. The voice whispered again. "If they take me, she will come." "She?" Ethan asked. The sky answered first. The clouds split apart. A massive shape moved within them, so large it blocked the sun. The aircraft pulled back suddenly. Alarms screamed. From far above, a sound rolled across the city. Not a scream, not a roar, a call. Ancient, powerful, the kind of sound that made the world feel small. The cat lifted its head. Its body began to glow from within. And Ethan realized the truth far too late. This was never a stray. This was never a cat. And whatever was coming was not friendly. When the sky came looking, the balcony shook again. Ethan grabbed the railing to stay upright. The air felt thick, like it was pressing down on his lungs. The strange aircraft hovered closer now, silent but deadly. Red lights scanned the building. The cat. No, the creature stood beside Ethan. Its body was changing. The fur along its back pulled apart, revealing glowing lines beneath. Not skin, scales. Small, bright, gold. Ethan's mouth went dry. "What are you?" he whispered. The voice returned in his mind, softer now. "I am hiding." The aircraft speakers crackled. "Human on the balcony," a cold voice said. "Step away from the target." Target. Ethan felt something snap inside him. He laughed. A short, shaky laugh. "You're calling it a target?" he shouted. "It's just, The words died in his throat. The creature lifted its head. Its eyes were no longer gold. They burned like fire. "They will hurt you," the voice said. "You should leave." Ethan shook his head. "No," he said. "I won't." The beam of light brightened. A weapon charged. The sound was sharp and high, like the scream of metal. Ethan raised his arms without thinking. "Stop," he yelled. "There's a person here." There was a pause. Then the voice answered. Human presence acknowledged. Authorization granted. The weapon fired. Not at Ethan. At the balcony floor. The explosion ripped through concrete and metal. Ethan was thrown backward. He hit the glass door hard and slid to the floor. His ears rang. Smoke filled the air. "Ethan!" The voice screamed his name inside his head. He looked up. The balcony railing was gone. The floor was cracked open. One more hit, and everything would fall. The creature stood at the edge. Its small body shook. "This is my fault," it said. "They followed me." Ethan pushed himself up, coughing. "You didn't ask them to," he said. "Neither did I." The aircraft lowered again. More shapes appeared in the clouds. Not 1, 5, 10. They surrounded the building. City lights below began to flicker. People screamed in the streets. Ethan stepped forward, between the weapons and the creature. "You want it," he shouted. "Then you go through me." The cold voice returned. "You do not understand what you are protecting." Ethan wiped blood from his lip. "Then explain it," he said, "because all I see is something scared." For a moment, nothing happened. Then the temperature changed. Not hotter, colder. The clouds above the city stopped moving. Completely still. The creature stiffened. Its eyes widened. "She found me," it whispered. The aircraft alarm screamed. "Unknown energy spike. Pull back now." Too late. The clouds split open. Not like a storm, like a door. Something vast moved behind them. So large it did not fully enter the sky at once. A single eye opened. Golden. Endless. Watching everything. Every aircraft froze in place. Metal bent inward. Engines failed. Ethan dropped to his knees. The pressure was unbearable. The creature bowed its head. "Mother." The word echoed. Not just in Ethan's mind. In the air. In the city. In the ground itself. A massive form descended from the clouds. Scales like living gold. Wings that blocked the sky. A presence that made the world feel small and fragile. The Dragon Queen had arrived. Her gaze swept over the city. Buildings shook. Then her eyes locked onto the balcony. Onto Ethan. And the small creature beside him. Her voice rolled like thunder. "Who dares touch my child?" The aircraft tried to flee. They failed. One by one, they were crushed in midair. Twisted. Broken. Dropped into the clouds below. The Dragon Queen lowered herself closer. Closer. Her massive head hovered just meters from the balcony. Her breath was fire and wind. She looked at the creature. Then at Ethan. Her eyes narrowed. "Human," she said. "Why does my child stand behind you?" Ethan's body shook. Every instinct screamed at him to run. He didn't. He swallowed hard and stood. "Because," he said, voice barely steady, "it was hungry." Silence. The Dragon Queen stared. Then she laughed. The sound shook the city to its core. A deep, ancient laugh filled with surprise. "Interesting," she said. "Very interesting." Her eyes glowed brighter. "You may have just changed the fate of your world." The creature pressed closer to Ethan. For the first time, Ethan realized something terrifying. This was not the end. This was the beginning. The queen who judged worlds. The Dragon Queen hovered in the sky. Her wings stretched wider than the building itself. Each slow movement pushed waves of wind through the city. Below her, the streets were frozen. Cars stopped. People stood still. Even the air felt afraid to move. Ethan stood on the broken balcony. The small dragon pressed close behind him. The queen's golden eyes locked onto Ethan. Not angry, not calm, curious. Human, she said again, her voice deep and slow. You stand before Dragon Queen without bowing. Ethan swallowed. His legs felt weak, but he stayed standing. I didn't know I was supposed to, he said honestly. The queen studied him. Long seconds passed. Buildings creaked under the pressure of her presence. Then she spoke again. You fed my child. Yes, Ethan replied. You protected my child. Yes. You knew nothing of dragons. That's true. The queen tilted her massive head. Then tell me why. Ethan took a breath. Because it came every day, he said. Because it was quiet. Because it was hungry. And because no one else cared. The city waited. The queen's eyes softened for a brief moment. Then the warmth vanished. The sky darkened. Your kind has hunted us, she said. Your kind has chained us. Your kind has killed our young. Images filled the sky. Burning nests. Falling dragons. Human weapons piercing ancient scales. People screamed as the visions passed over them. Ethan felt sick. I didn't do that, he said quietly. The queen's gaze sharpened. But you are one of them. She lowered herself closer. The heat returned, stronger now. Give me my child, she commanded, and I will spare this city. The small dragon trembled. Its claws dug into the cracked concrete. Ethan, the young voice whispered inside his mind. Please don't. Ethan looked back at the creature, at the being that had trusted him without knowing who he was. He turned back to the queen. No, he said. The word echoed. Gasps rose from the city below. The queen's eyes widened. You refuse a dragon queen? Yes. The air shook violently. Windows shattered across the city. Then you choose destruction, she roared. Flames gathered in her throat. The sky glowed orange. The city braced for the end. Ethan stepped forward. Wait, he shouted. The flames paused. Ethan raised his hands. If someone must be punished, he said, voice shaking but clear, then punish me. The queen stared. I'm human, Ethan continued. I can't speak for my whole world, but I can stand for myself. Silence fell. The queen's fire faded. Slowly, she lowered her head, until one massive eye was level with Ethan. You offer your life, she said, for a child not of your blood. Yes. The queen studied him deeply. Then she spoke words that shook the earth. Very well. The ground cracked beneath Ethan's feet. Power wrapped around him like chains. The city screamed as the Dragon Queen began her judgment. If you fall, she said, this world burns. Energy surged. Ethan cried out as visions filled his mind. Human history, wars, cruelty, kindness, pain, and hope tangled together. He saw humans saving strangers. He saw humans destroying themselves. He felt it all. Then it stopped. Ethan collapsed to his knees. The queen pulled back. The city waited. The queen turned her gaze toward the world. Your kind is broken, she said, but not empty. She looked back at Ethan, at the human who had fed a dragon hatchling without knowing its worth. Because of you, she said, this world will live. Relief crashed over the city like a wave. But the queen was not finished. She lowered her head toward the small dragon. My child, she said gently, you chose well. Then she looked at Ethan again, and her voice turned serious. From this moment, she declared, you are bound to dragonkind. A mark burned onto Ethan's arm, a symbol of fire and wings. He screamed but did not fall. Gar, my child, the queen commanded. Teach your kind restraint. She spread her wings. The sky brightened. Fail, she warned, and I will return without mercy. With one powerful beat of her wings, the Dragon Queen rose into the clouds. The pressure vanished. The heat faded. The city was left in silence. Ethan lay on the broken balcony, breathing hard. The small dragon pressed against him. You didn't have to, it whispered. Ethan smiled weakly. Yeah, he said, but I wanted to. Above them, far beyond the clouds, something else watched. Something older. Something that did not like the queen's decision. And somewhere in the dark of space, a new threat had just noticed Earth. The price of mercy. The city did not cheer. It stayed silent. People stood in the streets, staring at the sky where the Dragon Queen had vanished. No one spoke. No one moved. They had survived. but survival felt heavy. On the balcony, Ethan slowly sat up. His arm burned. The mark the queen had left glowed faintly under his skin, a symbol shaped like wings wrapped in fire. The small dragon watched him closely. Worried. "Does it hurt?" the young voice asked inside his mind. Ethan nodded. "A little," he said, "but I'll live." The dragon relaxed slightly and curled beside him. Its body was warmer now, stronger, no longer hiding. Sirens echoed through the city. Military helicopters arrived, human ones this time. Spotlights hit the building. Voices shouted orders. Ethan sighed. "Looks like I'm popular now." They took him gently. That alone scared him. No handcuffs, no shouting, just careful hands and nervous eyes. The dragons stayed close. When soldiers tried to separate them, the air shook. The dragon growled. Not loud, but powerful. The soldiers stepped back. "Let it stay," one officer whispered. "I'm not dying today." They moved Ethan and the dragon to a secure building outside the city. Underground. Deep. Too deep. Scientists watched through thick glass. Generals argued. No one knew what to do. Ethan sat on a metal bench while the dragon slept beside him. "You okay?" Ethan asked softly. "I'm stronger now," the dragon replied. "Mother's presence awakened me." Ethan frowned. "Awakened you? How?" The dragon opened one eye. "I will not stay small." The lights flickered. Every screen in the room went black. Then one screen turned on by itself. Stars filled the display. A cold voice spoke. Not human, not dragon. So this is where the queen placed her faith. The room froze. Ethan stood slowly. "Who are you?" he asked. The stars on the screen twisted. A shape formed. Tall, sharp, dark, eyes like empty space. "We are the Ashen Lords," the voice said, "and your world has been noticed." The dragon moved in front of Ethan. Its scales glowed brighter. "You must leave," it said bravely. The voice laughed. A cruel sound. "Little hatchling," it replied. "Your mother cannot protect you forever." The screens showed images. Worlds burning. Dragons falling. Cities turning to dust. Ethan clenched his fists. "What do you want?" he demanded. The voice focused on him. "You," it said. "The human chosen by a dragon queen." The mark on Ethan's arm burned hot. He cried out and dropped to one knee. The dragon roared. This time it was not small. Power rippled outward. Cracks spread through the walls. The screen shattered. Silence returned. Alarm screamed. The soldiers panicked. Ethan gasped for breath. The dragon stood tall now. No longer cat-sized. Its wings unfolded slightly. Still small, but unmistakably a dragon. "They will come," it said. "They always come." Ethan looked at the creature he had fed on his balcony. The creature that trusted him. The creature the universe now hunted. "Well," he said weakly, forcing a smile, "guess we're in trouble." The dragon looked at him, and for the first time, it smiled. "No," it said. "They are." Far beyond Earth, ships began to move. Ancient enemies turned their gaze toward a small blue planet, and somewhere in the clouds above the world, the Dragon Queen opened her eyes again. When humanity chose to stand, the world changed in 7 days. Not slowly, all at once. Satellites went dark. Stars vanished from the night sky. Something massive was blocking the view. The Ashen Lords were coming. Governments stopped hiding the truth. Screens across the world showed the same message. Prepare. Cities evacuated. Armies moved. Old enemies worked together. And in a hidden mountain base, Ethan stood with a dragon at his side. The hatchling was no longer small. Its wings were wide now. Its scales shone like living gold. Still young, but powerful. "They fear you," the dragon said. "That is why they come." Ethan looked at the screens, showing dark shapes in space. "I'm just a guy who fed a hungry cat," he said. The dragon turned its head. "You are more," it replied. "You chose." The mark on Ethan's arm burned softly. He could feel things now. Energy, heat, movement in the air. Dragons began to appear across the world. Not attacking, arriving. From oceans, from mountains, from hidden places humans never knew existed. They circled cities, guarding them. People panicked at first. Then they watched. The dragons did not burn homes. They stood between Earth and the sky. The Dragon Queen returned on the third day. She landed outside the base. Her presence bent the ground. She looked at Ethan. The enemy approaches, she said. They seek control, not destruction. What do they want with us? Ethan asked. Obedience, the queen replied, and silence. The Ashen fleet entered orbit on the 7th day. The sky turned black. Ships like moving shadows covered the stars. Human weapons fired. They did nothing. The Ashen Lords spoke to the world. Surrender, the voice echoed. Give us the dragon. Give us the human. Silence followed. Ethan stepped forward. I won't hide, he said. The queen's eyes narrowed. You will die. Maybe, Ethan said. But not alone. The dragon beside him roared. Every dragon on Earth answered. The sound rolled across the planet. Human pilots lifted off. Soldiers took position. Scientists activated weapons powered by dragon fire. For the first time in history, humanity did not stand beneath gods. They stood with them. The first Ashen ship fired. The sky exploded. Dragons met the attack head-on. Fire met shadow. Ethan felt the mark burn like a sun. Energy poured into him. He raised his hand. The air answered. A shield of fire and light formed over the city. The queen watched, surprised. He is changing, she whispered. The Ashen Lords screamed in rage. This was not the weak world they expected. The battle raged. The sky burned. And as the first enemy ship fell from orbit, breaking apart in flames, Ethan realized the truth. This war would decide more than Earth. It would decide whether humans were prey, or something far more dangerous. The day humanity was named. The sky was no longer black. It was burning. Enemy ships fell like dying stars, breaking apart as they entered the atmosphere. The oceans boiled beneath the heat. The ground shook with every impact. Dragons filled the sky. Some breathed fire. Others tore through shadow ships with claws and teeth. Human aircraft flew between them. Small, fragile, but fearless. Ethan stood at the center of it all. The mark on his arm blazed like a living flame. He could feel the battle, not just see it. He felt fear from humans below, pain from wounded dragons, rage from the Ashen Lords, and something else. Hope. The dragon queen flew beside him, her massive wings steady. They did not expect this, she said. They believed humans were weak. Ethan watched a human pilot pull a wounded dragon out of a blast path. They always do, he replied. And they're always wrong. A massive Ashen warship descended through the clouds, larger than anything before it. Its surface bent light. Its core pulsed with dark energy. The air screamed. Every dragon hesitated. The Ashen Lord's voice echoed across the world. Enough. The battle paused. Human, the voice called. You have delayed the inevitable. The warship aimed its core at Earth. One strike, the voice said calmly. And this world ends. Ethan felt the fear rise again. Millions of lives. One moment. The Dragon Queen moved forward. You will not, she declared. The Ashen Lord laughed. You are powerful, it said. But you are alone. Ethan stepped past her. No, he said. She's not. He raised his arm. The mark burned brighter than ever before. Every dragon in the sky roared. Every human weapon powered up. Energy flowed. Dragon fire. Human will. Shared purpose. The queen stared at Ethan. What are you doing? She demanded. Ethan didn't look back. I'm choosing, he said. The power surged into him. Not control. Not dominance. Connection. The Ashen warship fired. Dark energy ripped toward Earth. Ethan screamed. Not in pain. In defiance. A shield of fire and light exploded outward from him. The blast hit the shield and shattered. The shock wave tore through the sky. The Ashen warship cracked down the middle. The Ashen Lord howled. Impossible. Ethan collapsed to one knee. The Dragon Queen caught him before he fell. The enemy ship broke apart and burned. Silence followed. Slow. Heavy. Then the remaining Ashen ships turned away. They fled. The stars returned. The war was over. For a long moment, no one spoke. Then the Dragon Queen landed. She set Ethan gently on the ground. She looked at him differently now. Not as a curiosity, not as a tool, but as an equal. She bowed. Every dragon followed. Across the world, humans watched in silence. The queen spoke. her voice echoing across Earth. "Hear this," she said. "Humans are not weak." She turned her gaze to the skies. "They are not prey." Her eyes burned with pride. "From this day forward," she declared, "they are named kin of flame." The world changed. Not with fire, with understanding. Days later, Ethan stood on his old balcony. Rebuilt. Stronger. The dragon, no longer small, rested beside him. The city below was alive again. Calm. Hopeful. "You still hungry?" Ethan asked. The dragon smiled. "I never was," it replied. "I was looking." "For what?" "For someone who would choose kindness before power." Ethan laughed softly. "Well," he said, placing a bowl down out of habit. "Guess that worked out." Far above them, dragons circled peacefully. And beyond the stars, enemies remembered Earth. Not as a weak world, but as the place where a human fed a hungry cat and changed the fate of the universe.